What is the crack, everyone? Ollie from B2B Sports here. Have we just witnessed the most exciting F1 race of the entire season? Singapore Grand Prix did not disappoint, and shock horror, Red Bulls didn't come away with a win. Can you believe it? Carlos Sainz took the victory in this afternoon's Grand Prix. An excellent performance from him. Backed the pack up, used that to his advantage, especially in the last sort of 10 to 15 laps of the race, and even gave Lando Norris DRS to help them fight off the Mercedes. I think if the Mercedes had picked off Lando, I think Carlos was in trouble. So yeah, tactically brilliant from Carlos Sainz. Ferrari strategy working well for once. Not so much for Leclerc. I did feel a little bit sorry for him, but Carlos Sainz has been on fire recently ever since the summer break. He's been performing incredibly well. He did really well in Monza 2 weeks ago to get a podium, and he's done even better here to secure the victory. His second Grand Prix victory in his F1 career. Obviously the first was last year in Silverstone for Ferrari. But yeah, hats off to the bloke. Couldn't be happy for him. And it was so exciting to have a mix up on the grid. You know, to have the Red Bulls down in 6th, 7th, 8th place, and to have different teams up there battling, just made so much more of a difference. Especially qualifying. Qualifying was incredible. Just rewind back to Saturday. Obviously both Red Bulls went out in Q2. Perez couldn't get it going. Both struggled with the grip. They were both skidding around the Singapore circuit. And then Liam Lawson, can you believe it? An AlphaTauri driver who never thought he'd be racing in F1 this soon. Pips Max Verstappen, gets into Q3 and knocks Verstappen out in Q2, which is unheard of, especially this season. Fair play to Liam Lawson. He had a great performance today. Picked up some points in his third race. A really impressive drive from him. And yeah, going back to the Red Bulls, I mean, there are some conspiracy theories floating around that they've had to sort of adapt their car to fit into regulations. They had some illegal parts to their car, as to why they've had to make this sudden change, this sudden drop off in performance. I think that might be a little bit too far, but this car has super struggled, really struggled this weekend, which is, I think they probably looked at this race on the calendar and thought that, this is one that we might not dominate, but to be that far behind, especially in qualifying, their race pace looked okay, but to be that far behind in qualifying, it's very strange. And will they get back to the Red Bull of old in Suzuka next week in Japan? We'll have to wait and see. I think they probably will do, but it has sort of mixed things up a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely made this Grand Prix race extremely exciting, and I think it's what's needed for F1 this year. This is what F1's all about. Whether you're a Mercedes fan, whether you're a Red Bull fan, whether you're a Ferrari fan, you don't want any team to, run away with it to the point where the sport actually becomes tiresome and boring. It's meant to be one of the most exciting sports. It's meant to be this globally captivating sport that everyone tunes in to watch, and you don't want to see a driver be winning by 30, 40, 50 seconds every single race week. So in my opinion, it was good to see a little bit of a Red Bull downfall this week. Shout out to Lando Norris as well, did really well in that McLaren to grab second place. He was putting Carlos Sainz under a bit of pressure, and there was a little bit of a nervy moment where they could catch Carlos Sainz with about 5 laps to go, but he held on to second place, did really well. Incredible drive from Lando, and his first race win isn't far away at all. I could tell you that, especially if McLaren had given him the car that he deserves and he wants. Then yeah, that race win isn't too far away. I suppose we should touch on the Mercs. An incredible strategy, the virtual safety car, and did them well. They double stacked it, and it paid off. Put them extra set of mediums on, and they were flying. they're going at speed of knots, catching McLaren and Sainz up top. They just ran out of laps. Incredible defensive performance, stopped them in their tracks. But as a result of that pressure from the Mercs, George Russell, I feel for the bloke so much. Did so well. He was putting pressure on his team. Can he win this race? Can he win this race? And with one lap to go on the last lap, clipped the ball right into the barriers. I felt for him so bad. He looked so gutted and so emotional after that exit, and rightly so. Put his heart and soul into that. And George is a little bit of a Marmite character. You either love him or you hate him, or but you've got to feel for him a little bit there. Put all that hard work in, was bound to be on the podium. Could have if he'd had a few laps extra, could have even caught Lando and potentially Carlos. But yeah, I feel for him so bad, and he's not only missed out on the podium, he's missed out entirely. DNF on the last lap, incredibly harsh. But that's what you get at the pinnacle of this sport. Drivers pushing each other to the absolute limit, and he's come away with nothing. Hamilton taking that podium, did incredibly well as well. It's just nice to see those blacked out Mercs chasing down the pack, working as a team. But an incredibly exciting race. I think Singapore is always one of those that you mark on your calendar, saying this could be one of the most exciting races of the season, both in qualifying and in the race. We didn't have any rain. I think the rain would have turned it into complete chaos. What a race nonetheless. Let's hope and pray that we get another exciting race in Japan next week in Suzuka. Whether Danny Rick will be back next weekend, that will remain to be seen. Lance Stroll also took a hard hit in qualifying and had to sit out this race. He should be back for Suzuka. Scary scenes for him. But yeah, we shall see. What are your thoughts on the race? Is there something a little bit suspicious going on with them Red Bulls? And let us know who's going to be on the podium in Suzuka. Enjoy the week of sport, and see you again next time. Peace out.